You wake before the sun rises, not because you choose to, but because you must. Hunger pulls you from sleep as much as responsibility does. Your body aches from the day before, muscles stiff, hands cracked, feet sore from standing and walking on rough ground. There is no time to recover. There never is. Every day is a continuation of the last, and every moment spent resting is a moment lost in the fight to stay alive. If you are born into the lowest level of society, perhaps a landless peasant or an urban labourer, your life is defined by what you lack. You lack security. You lack comfort. You lack control. Even the simplest necessities, food, warmth, clean water, are never guaranteed. They are earned through relentless effort, and even then, they can disappear overnight. Your home offers little protection. In rural areas, it may be a small hut made of wood, mud, and straw, with gaps that let in wind and rain. The roof leaks. The floor is dirt. Smoke from a small indoor fire fills the air because there is no proper chimney. In the city, conditions can be even worse. Overcrowded buildings press against each other, trapping heat, smell, and disease. Entire families live in single rooms, sharing space with animals, tools, and whatever belongings they possess. Cleanliness is nearly impossible. Waste is thrown into the streets or nearby pits. Water sources are often contaminated. Illness spreads easily in such an environment, and once it takes hold, it moves quickly. You may see neighbours fall sick one day and be gone the next. There is little understanding of why it happens, and even less that can be done to stop it. Food governs everything. You think about it constantly, where it will come from, how much there will be, whether it will be enough. A typical meal is plain and repetitive. Coarse bread, maybe some porridge, occasionally vegetables if they are available. Meat is rare, and when it appears, it is often of poor quality. Hunger is not an occasional hardship, it is a constant companion. It shapes your thoughts, your mood, your strength. A bad harvest can push everything to the edge. Crops fail for many reasons, weather, pests, disease, and when they do, the consequences are immediate and severe. There are no reserves, no systems to distribute aid. Families are forced to ration what little they have, stretching it as far as possible. Meals become smaller, then fewer, until eventually there is nothing left to stretch. Work is relentless. In the countryside, your life revolves around the land. You plough fields, plant seeds, harvest crops, tend animals. The work is physical and exhausting, done with simple tools that require more effort than efficiency. The sun beats down in summer, and there is no escape from its heat. In winter, the cold is equally unforgiving, turning every task into a test of endurance. In the city, labour takes different forms but is no less demanding. You might carry heavy loads through crowded streets, work in workshops with dangerous tools, or serve in households where your time is never your own. The hours are long, the expectations high, and the rewards minimal. There is always someone ready to take your place if you falter. There is no concept of worker protection. Injuries are common, and they can be devastating. A broken limb, a deep cut, or even a severe bruise can end your ability to work. And if you cannot work, you cannot earn. And if you cannot earn, you cannot eat. The line between survival and disaster is thin, and it can be crossed in an instant. Disease is perhaps the most terrifying aspect of this life. Without knowledge of bacteria or viruses, people rely on superstition, prayer, and ineffective remedies. Treatments can be as harmful as the illnesses themselves. Bloodletting, herbal mixtures of uncertain value, and rudimentary surgeries offer little hope. Plagues and epidemics sweep through communities with devastating speed. When they come, they bring fear and isolation. Families are torn apart, either by death or by the desperate need to avoid infection. Entire neighbourhoods can fall silent in a matter of weeks. The sight of carts carrying away the dead becomes disturbingly normal. For women, the dangers are even greater. Pregnancy is a constant risk, and childbirth is one of the most dangerous experiences a person can face. Without proper medical care, complications are often fatal. Many women do not survive multiple pregnancies, and many children do not survive infancy. Grief is a regular part of life, not an exception. Children who do survive are quickly introduced to hardship. There is no extended childhood, no period of innocence. From a young age, they are expected to contribute, to learn the skills necessary for survival. They witness suffering early and often, shaping their understanding of the world as a place where struggle is normal. Winter intensifies every hardship. The cold penetrates walls, clothing, and skin. Fires are difficult to maintain due to limited fuel, and warmth becomes a precious resource. People gather close together, sharing body heat, but even that is not always enough. Frostbite and illness become more common, and food supplies dwindle. Darkness stretches longer in winter, both literally and emotionally. Days are short, nights are long, and the sense of isolation deepens. It is during these months that many reach their breaking point. Survival becomes not just a physical challenge, but a mental one. Beyond the daily struggles, there is the constant threat of larger disasters. War can arrive without warning, bringing soldiers, destruction, and chaos. Armies move through regions, taking what they need, often leaving nothing behind. Villages are burned, fields destroyed, and families displaced. Fires in cities are another ever-present danger. Buildings are constructed from flammable materials, and with open flames used for cooking and lighting, accidents are inevitable. When a fire starts, it spreads quickly, consuming everything in its path. There is little that can be done to stop it, and many are left with nothing but what they can carry. Crime adds another layer of fear. Poverty drives desperation, and desperation leads to theft and violence. There is little formal policing, and justice is inconsistent at best. You must always be aware of your surroundings, always cautious, always ready to protect what little you have. Social structure ensures that escape from this life is nearly impossible. Wealth and status are inherited, not earned. Opportunities for advancement are rare and often require connections or resources that the poor simply do not have. You are born into your place, and you are expected to remain there. Yet even in this harsh existence, people find ways to endure. Community becomes a source of strength. Neighbours help each other when they can, sharing resources, offering support, and working together in times of need. Festivals and religious gatherings provide brief moments of relief, a chance to forget hardship, even if only for a short time. Faith plays a significant role in coping with the difficulties of life. It offers explanations for suffering and hope for something better beyond this world. Whether or not it changes their circumstances, it provides comfort, a sense of meaning in an otherwise uncertain existence. The hardest life in the Renaissance is not defined by a single hardship, but by the accumulation of many. It is the constant presence of risk, the absence of security, and the unending demand for effort. It is a life where survival is never assured, where each day must be faced with determination and resilience. There are no guarantees, no safety nets, no easy paths. Only the will to continue, to endure, and to face whatever comes next. And in that endurance, in that refusal to give up despite overwhelming odds, lies the quiet, often overlooked strength of those who live the hardest lives in the Renaissance.